My name is Deborah Collins. I am the Deputy City Manager for Public Safety and Human Service Functions. And I just really want to welcome you to this auspicious and great occasion. I know we have a lot of family and friends who are excited to be here for this swearing in of Chief Corey A. Smedley. And let's give him a round of applause. I just can't wait. And I'm particularly pleased because this really cements a relationship that I've established with Corey since he first came to us as our Deputy Chief of Emergency Management, so, congratulations and, yay for me and yay for Mark. For those of you who are wondering why we're packed in this little small space, this is our Vola Lawson lobby, and this is in, the bosom, if you will, of our city hall. And I think it's appropriate that when we have swearing-ins and investitures of high-level folks who are going to be living and working and abiding by many of the policies and procedures that come out of this building, we try to do it here. And so forgive us, we know it's tight, but thank you for allowing us to host it in a way that we see fitting. So first I want to acknowledge some of the folks who are in the room. First of all, to my right, I have Mayor Justin Wilson. I have Vice Mayor Elizabeth Bennett Parker. Say that really fast, sorry. Councilwoman Del Pepper. There you are. Councilman John Chapman. There he is. Councilman Kanik Aguirre. There we go. I don't see him, but is Councilman Seafoodin in the room? Mo Seafoodin. Nope, he's not here yet. Okay. Councilwoman Amy Jackson. We have former Mayor William Ewell. We have our former City Attorney, Jim Banks. We have our current City Attorney, lots of past and present, Joanna Anderson. I cannot forget our boss, City Manager Mark Jeans. And even the newly minted himself, we have our Greg Parks, Clerk of the Circuit Court, who will be doing the honors today. Additionally, we have some of Corey's new public safety partners in the room. I think we have Sean Casey representing Sheriff Dana Lawhorn. Right behind me. All right. I don't see our Commonwealth's Attorney, Brian Porter, but we do have our Police Chief, Michael Brown, over there. Our Director of our Emergency 911 Communications, Renee Gordon. We have our former Fire Chief, Robert Dubay. There. Our former Assistant Chief, Dwayne Bonnet. I see you. We have our Arlington Fire Chief, Dave Pavlitz. I saw Dave. Okay. From Prince George's County, we have Fire Chief Tiffany Green. And we have the City Manager from Laurel, Maryland, Bill Goddard. I saw him. And if I have forgotten or overlooked someone, just understand it's because someone's trying to blind me right here. I can't see out of this eye. So now I would like Reverend Dr. Timothy West, pastor of Westphalia United Methodist Church, to give us the invocation.
God, the creator of every good and perfect gift, and who sets up systems and protocols so your leaders can be celebrated and sworn into positions to work and serve. We honor you in prayer as we give you thanks for the assignment of Corey Smedley to the position of Fire Chief for the city of Alexandria. We thank you for this blessing of inspired hope as we once again witness a piece of the dream come true, as Corey will be sworn in this position based on the content of his character and not on the color of his skin. We thank you for the people whose heart did not faint in doing so and whose faith allowed them to do your will. God, we ask you to bless Corey with the wisdom and insight to carry out the mission of the fire department to save lives and protect property. And God, we ask you to use Corey as chief to further unify the staff and his workers to carry out their mission. Keep Corey humble in heart, yet bold as he approaches each task and face each challenge. Also allow Corey, as he serves the position, the space and time to continue to be a husband to his wife, Yolanda, and a father to their children and a servant in your house. It is further asked for those who are charged to observe his behavior as chief, evaluate his labor as chief, and assist in his success as chief, that if ever Corey displays his humanity and show he is not perfect and falls short the measure of his position, let no one be rapid to scrutinize his shortfall, but quick in assisting to make him a better chief. Now, God, we ask your blessing upon this swearing-in celebration and all who had gathered here, and on your continuous blessing upon Chief Smedley and his family, the Fire Department of Alexandria, and your blessing upon the citizens who call Alexandria home. All this we ask in the name of the only one whose religious history records he died on a Friday and rose on Sunday. Amen.
Amen. And now we're going to have remarks from Mayor Justin Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you all so much for being here. It is a pleasure to welcome you to City Hall. I want to especially welcome Chief Smedley's family. Thank you so much for being here, especially his wife, Yolanda. I want to thank and welcome the broader fire department family that's here. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you for all that you do to serve our residents. And I want to thank the broader city family, all of us who are here. Thank you for being here to welcome Chief Smedley on this historic day to this important role. There is no more important role of local government than protection of safety, protection of the safety of our residents and the protection of our safety of our property. And the fire department is the agency that provides that safety to the residents of the city. We do appreciate the residents of the city holding off for the next hour on calling or having any emergency that they might conceive of. Just wait until about 7 o'clock, and then everyone will be back at it to help provide that safety. In order to provide that safety, we need a great team, which you see here in this room, the men and women who serve the residents of the city, but they also need great leadership. And that's why I am so confident that the city manager has chosen extremely wisely in his selection and choosing Chief Corey Smedley to be the next Alexandria Fire Chief. I want to note that this is a difficult community to serve in. We expect a lot out of leaders in this community. We send them through the paces. We ask them as many questions as possible, and we demand absolute excellence. And they should expect nothing less than excellence. And I think if you look at Chief Smedley's background, you look at his career in Prince George's County, and you look at the varied things that he has done, even while he's been here in his 5 years in the city of Alexandria, I am very, very confident that he is the man for the job, and he is going to do an excellent job of leading this agency and protecting the residents of this city. And if you had any doubt, I looked through his bio a little bit, and I noted that for a period of time at Prince George's County, he was in charge of safety at FedEx Field. And anyone who's ever hung out with an Eagles or Giants fan knows that anybody who can handle them is someone who is ready to protect the community. So we are excited to have you in this position. We are looking forward to great things. This is an exciting time for our fire department. All of you know some of the investments that we have been making in recent years. After really 3 decades of having pretty consistent levels of staffing, we have made significant investments in staffing over the last several years to bring us up to regional standards for staffing and response. Over the next decade, we will be building or rebuilding 3 fire stations around this city with more to come. We are committing the necessary resources to ensure that we have a public safety capacity in this city that can protect safety for everyone in this community, and we have the right leader to help us lead us into that era. So I'm excited to welcome Chief Smedley into this role. I look forward to working with you, continuing to work with you over these next, I believe, you made a 20-year commitment. Is that right? So next 20 years. Yolanda, were you aware of that? 20 years. It's in the contract. So yeah. So we are excited to welcome you, and I look forward to working with you. And congratulations on this wonderful day.
Thank you, Mayor Wilson. I just want to acknowledge Sheriff Lawhorn is now with us. Sheriff Daniel Lawhorn. And Councilman Siefeldien has joined us as well. So now I'm going to bring up the City Manager, Mark Jenks, and he will introduce Corey, who will then get sworn in by Mr. Parks, and then give us some remarks.
Thanks, Deborah. This is my favorite part of being city manager, is where you get to basically build a leadership team. You get to sort through and decide, based on the needs of the community, what are the right people really to entrust. As the mayor said, with fire, it's the health and safety of our entire community. You put in one leader's hands to be a leader of some nearly 300 employees. Fire is a core function of the city government, given its responsibilities for health and safety. But we also have another kind of core part of our city government that are our core values. And we had 500 city employees work on this, and they came up with, and what we have on the wall is respect, continuous improvement, integrity, and teamwork. And the selection of the fire chief isn't easy. You not only need a person who's technically qualified and is a good manager, but you need somebody as a leader who will respect all the women and men of the fire department, ensure respect is embraced as a value within the fire department. EMS services evolve over time and in regards to best practices and skill sets. So we knew we needed somebody to lead the department who would bring continuous improvement to the forefront, to issure the continuation of excellence. We also have a high expectation of integrity in the city government. It starts with our citizenry, it flows through our elected leaders and down to our organization with that expectation. And finally, all department heads, we need teamwork. Today's work is complicated. A single department can rarely solve any particular problem. They need the help of a number of other departments in getting work done. So being able to work collaboratively in teams is absolutely critical to success. And so for those you know Chief Smedley, I think you've just heard me describe his character. And so it was a relatively easy decision when we got down to the end to say, you know what, this is a good fit for our organization. It's a good fit for the future of the fire department. Chief Smedley has been in the fire service since 1995. He's progressed through a number of roles: emergency response captain, battalion chief, special assistant to one of the deputy county administrative officers in Prince George's County, and clearly working in the manager's office is someplace that is kind of a challenge. And then, as the mayor mentioned, working at FedEx Field was a nail biter. And I don't know if it was the, what I'd say was the Giants or the Eagles. Maybe it was the Snyders that was more of a challenge in dealing with. Along the way, while working, he earned his associate's degree, his BA, as well as a master's degree in organizational management from Johns Hopkins University. We were fortunate to hire Chief Smedley, and I thank former Chief DeBay for that in 2015 as the deputy chief in charge of emergency operations. He improved that, our operations of our emergency operations. He helped increase our community's fire rating by 1 notch, and he has a plan to take it up to our number 1 notch, where we want to be. And I watched him at the Council of Governments finesse a difficult situation where we have $50 million we get from the federal government annually in Homeland Security monies. There's probably $150 million worth of needs, and you have every police department, fire department, sheriff's department, emergency communications, hospitals, all sorts of stakeholders in this region who think they got the best idea and what those priorities should be. And Corey chaired the committee that basically worked it all out. So by the time it got to the chief administrative officers, which are the city and county manager, basically he explained it, and we, for the most part, said, yep, those are the right things. Everybody, there was consensus on it, and we went forward. And that shows the ability to basically take a complex problem, figure out what the right things are to do, and work through using your people skills in order to reach a consensus in a very complicated situation. So it's this wide range of experiences and values that Chief Corey Smedley has shown that really kind of set him up as ready for the next fire chief of Alexandria. So at this moment, I'm pleased to officially welcome to our leadership team and look forward to helping him implement his ideas as he has to lead the fire department and help lead. I expect all department heads to help lead the city as well and give me advice and others advice on what are the best things to do outside their area of expertise. So welcome, and let's get matters started and get you sworn in.
Thank you, City Manager Jinks. As our Deputy City Manager and showrunner this evening mentioned, I'm Greg Parks. I'm the Clerk of the Circuit Court, and I am newly elected. And in my office there are over 800 responsibilities, but the one that I am so excited to be doing tonight, and my favorite of all of them, is actually swearing in officials. And Chief Smedley is the first senior official that I've gotten to swear in my position, so I'm extremely honored that such a public servant of high caliber is my first senior official that I get to swear in tonight. As public officials, we all take the oath that Chief Smedley is about to take. That oath represents two important ideas and performs two important functions. The first is to confer upon the public official the authority of his office. The Declaration of Independence notes that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. In a democracy, by taking the oath, we acknowledge that truth and accept the authority of the people and the responsibility to the people that comes with it. Second, the oath represents a solemn promise to the people to support the constitutions of our country and our Commonwealth. We are a government of laws, and this oath is to uphold the laws and the Constitution from which they spring. Are you ready to take that oath?
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Corey A. Smedley,
I, Corey A. Smedley,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
incumbent upon me as Fire Chief
incumbent upon me as Fire Chief
for the City of Alexandria, Virginia,
for the City of Alexandria, Virginia,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Yeah. Because I'm normally pretty loud. This is humbling, and I'm gonna try to not to get emotional because you don't need to see that at all. But I truly want to thank everyone for joining me tonight for this special occasion. It is more than overwhelmingly humbling. I am honored and grateful to officially stand before you as the 30th Fire Chief in the great city of Alexandria. This is special for me. Thank you, Mayor Wilson, Vice Mayor Bennett Parker, all of our council members, distinguished guests. Deputy Chief Franco, I'm gonna acknowledge you, so thank you for coming over. He was trying to find calls to run in the city, so police chief, if you see him, he's not authorized. All the distinguished guests, absolutely the community, our fire service personnel, our local and regional partners, City Manager Mark Jinks, my direct boss, Ms. Collins, everyone, thank you for just all the support that you have shown. This is definitely a great city to serve in. I would be remiss, Chief Dubé surprised me today, and I already had these comments in my speech, so I didn't do it just because you came, but I've been here actually 4 years, December of 2019, and the chief and I have had various conversations from obviously fire service related, but the most rewarding conversations was talking about our faith and talking about our family. Those were things that you just can't get out of books. So Chief Dubé, thank you for all the experience. Me coming in, knocking on your door, bugging you to death. I really appreciate the time you took and poured into me, and it's definitely helped me in the position that I'm in now. So thank you for that. My approach to this new role is fairly simple, and what I'm about to say, if you spend any time around me, you're going to hear me say it again. It's like a broken record, and that's faith, family, and fire, in that order. I can't do it any other way. I've tried it, and I've failed other ways. Faith, family, and fire is what it's all about. My faith is the foundation that keeps me grounded, focused, and humbled. It reminds me always to consider how decisions will impact the community that I serve, the stakeholders that are my partners, and the community that are relying on our service. Faith also gives me the opportunity to be conscious, to be present in the moment. Also allows me to be candid. Anybody who's been around me, I'm up in your space, and you understand where I'm coming from. I do that because that's critical. There should be no ambiguity as the leader of an organization. You should understand where the vision is coming from, and I make sure that I exhibit that in every way. The other thing, it helps me maintain my passion. The fire service is something that I'm not going to get rich off of, but I can tell you it is the most rewarding thing I've ever experienced helping someone else. It also has helped me to be courageous. I do not have the luxury to not correct things that are not right. I will always do the right thing no matter the circumstances. One of the things that I've asked in my interview with the city manager and the deputy city manager is, when we come to that crossroad of I dig in and you dig in, how do we negotiate in that space? Because I'm going to understand and recognize the political piece. I'm going to recognize that every mission is critical and collaborate to help everyone achieve their goals. But I want to understand that what we do is critical and people's lives are on the line. I ask my team all the time, tell me what keeps you up at night. I don't want that call that so many other chiefs have heard that you lost a member. So I'm going to do everything in my power, work tirelessly every day to keep the community safe and the people who respond every day. And I want you to understand that. So if I'm getting in your areas, it's because I care and I want you to go home after every shift. I want to thank my family for inspiration and guidance and the support. Each and every one of you, I don't have time to go one by one, but each and every one of you have inspired me in some way or another. And I just want to thank you for that. Andrea, thank you for introducing me to the fire service. You were that example. It wasn't that great for you when you started, and I'm conscious of that. As a leader, I will not allow anything but everyone having an opportunity. I'm going to make you uncomfortable if you do anything beyond include and embrace everyone. I will help you succeed, or I will help you leave. To my mom, she's little, but she packs a powerful punch. She's the epitome of strength. To my dad and Angie, my other sister, they showed me examples of perseverance and have demonstrated to me how to own my mistakes, how to forgive myself, and how to live with no regrets. Thank you. To my wife, thank you for loving me. I expect dinner tonight. To my boys, Christopher, Justin, Samil, my goal in life is to demonstrate to you whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life, approach it with humility, passion, and the desire to serve. And lastly, fire. What a great way to spend your life, helping others. And especially when you're part of a team that's dedicated to provide critical services to others. The Alexandria Fire Department is a great organization, and we will strive to become even greater to better serve our community. Our top priority will be safety, as I stated. And again, I will do everything I can to keep you safe. We will use every opportunity to collaborate with our community, regional stakeholders, and we welcome every chance to provide those on the front line and behind the scenes a seat at the table. The Alexandria Fire Department is very aware that our mission is critical, and we will accomplish our mission. You've heard me say, at least some of you, it doesn't matter when, where, or what, we're coming, and we're coming to save the day. And you understand that, you can count on that. You have in front of you 2 academy classes. Ladies and gentlemen, I never experienced the thought that I would be where I am right now. And if I can be a demonstration to you that whatever it is you want to achieve, you can, my aspiration is to be your inspiration. In the coming months, the Alexandria Fire Department will build its executive team. That's just simply one of the many steps to continue to enhance quality improvement, critical thinking, and professional development, so all the members throughout the department can confidently contribute to the success of our mission and to our organization. We will face challenges. We will face challenges. But AFD has great people who will keep doing amazing things, and we will improve our service over and over again. I just want to take this last opportunity to say I really appreciate all your support. I am an engager. I talk to everyone, and I invite everyone into our space. We had a community meeting the other night, and they thanked me for allowing them to be in our conference room. That's their conference room. We're here for you, and we won't forget that. I will keep reminding our organization why we're here. We're not here for me. We're not here for them. We're here for you, and we will keep that in the forefront in everything we do. Thank you for supporting me. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to continued success. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Chief. So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I think personally I just would like to thank all of the family and friends that made sacrifices while Chief Smedley was on his journey to get to us. And for Chief Smedley, Mark and I would probably appreciate and say to you, thank you. You could have gone anywhere, done anything, but you chose to become the part of this family. And for that, we're very grateful. So That concludes to the program. I apologize, I see so many colleagues that I missed before because I was blind. We have some refreshments over here in the Sister Cities room. You can visit with the chief for a while, but you have to let him go in exactly 23 minutes so that he can address our city council. So again, thank you all for coming out, and good night.